Hey guys, welcome back to Ocean Beauty. In this video, we will be discussing the negative tropes of Black women. If you are not familiar what a trope is, it is basically like a stereotype, like a negative racial stereotype that is directed towards Black women. I will put like an official definition right here in the video and I'll leave it there for a few seconds. But I have decided to do this video because I think like a week or two ago, like I couldn't go to sleep and I just wanted to watch a movie with my boyfriend and I picked the movie Norbit. So to start off, well, if you're aware of what tropes are, you can probably see where I'm going with this. Okay, I've watched the movie numerous times when I was younger. Something has always felt off about the movie, but watching this, like being a grown adult and now, like in comparison to like what 7-8 years old or something like that, to being a 21-year-old woman now, I see how problematic that movie is, and I can definitely see why it got the low ratings that it did. I don't feel like it is okay for Black men in the film industry to base their whole career off dressing up as a Black woman that portrays the sapphire trope. Like, what is so funny about that? Personally, I've never found the Medea movies funny because they always put her under the sapphire trope, or the Big Mama movies, or Martin, like in the show Martin. Like, yeah, some people might get upset because it's like a Black classic movie, but him dressing up as Shanae that just happens to be the darker tone Black woman that people look down on, that was not by an accident, that was on purpose. They know what they're doing in the film industry. But I will give you guys the official definition of the sapphire Black woman, and I will put the links for these sites in the description box. But I'm reading it on my laptop, and I just want to show you guys my SpongeBob stickers because I love SpongeBob so much. But yes, even as a 20-year-old woman, I love SpongeBob. It is my safe place and my safe show for stressful days. But the sapphire caricature portrays a Black woman as rude, loud, malicious, stubborn, and overbearing. This is the angry Black woman, ABW, popularized in the cinema and on television. She is a tart tongue and emasculating, one hand on the hip and other one pointing and jabbing, or arms akimbo, violently and rhythmically rocking her head, mocking African American men for offenses ranging from being unemployed to sexually pursuing white women. She is a shrill nagger with irrational states of anger and indignation, and is often mean-spirited and abusive. Although African American men are her primary target, she has a venom for anyone who insults and disrespects her. The sapphire desire to dominate and her hypersensitivity to injustices make her a perpetual complainer. But she does not criticize to improve things. Rather, she criticizes because she is unendingly bitter and wishes that unhappiness on others. Like, how many times have you heard, oh, she's just an angry Black woman, why are Black women so angry, this, that, and the third? Like, what? Where do y'all get this from? But this is one of the caricatures or tropes that have originated from slavery. And now this is also from the same website, from Ferris State University. This is just basically like the historical view on it and like the origins. So it says from the 1800s through the mid 1900s, Black women were often portrayed in popular culture as sassy mammies who ran their own homes with iron fists, including berating Black husbands and children. These women were allowed, at least so symbolically, to defy some racial norms. During the Jim Crow period, when real Blacks were often beaten, jailed, or killed for arguing with whites, fictional mammies were allowed to pretend to chastise whites, including men. Their sassiness was supposed to indicate that they were accepted as members of the white family, and acceptance of that sassiness implied that slavery and segregation were not overly oppressive. Wow, I did not even know the last part myself. A well-known example of a sassy mammy was Hattie McDaniel, a Black actress who played feisty, quick-tempered mammies in many movies, including Judge Priest, Music is Magic, The Little Colonial, Alice Adams, Saratoga, The Mad Miss Manton, and Gone with the Wind. I've heard of Gone with the Wind, but I haven't heard of the other ones. In these roles, she was the sassy but always loyal. She was not a threat to the existing social order. And I would just like to show you guys, like, this really offensive picture. Like, if it'll focus, like, they have the exaggerated features, and then she has, like, the roller in her hand, and yeah. So, and colorism also plays into this, because usually with these roles, it's always darker toned black women. So this brings me back to the movie Norbit. If that movie was released today, they would be under so much fire. That movie just reeks of the sapphire trope. Like, who really acts like that in real life? Like, come on now. Like, I was just watching the movie, like, disgusted, like, actually nauseous. Like, how is that funny? Like, I should look up who wrote it really quick. And while I'm in the process of looking up who wrote it, it's just the fact that, like, these old reviews from people up here saying that people are gonna love this movie, it's amazing, it's brilliant, it's so funny. Like, that just shows how America has made little to no process in that, like, racism department. Because how is that funny? Like, please tell me what was so amusing about that movie. Like, you're acting like people didn't watch that movie and they were, like, subconsciously programmed to, like, think like that in real life. It says it was directed by Brian Robbins. Let me see who this is. Oh, and just, like, if you guys, like, remember the image that I just showed you guys, like, a few seconds or minutes ago, look at the cover. Like, what about this is, like, so different in comparison to that other image that I just showed you guys? In the description, right? A mild-mannered guy who is engaged to a monstrous woman meets the woman of his dreams and schemes to find a way to be with her. And now, when I bring colorism into this discussion, because it definitely applies, I understand that we experience colorism on both sides, but please do not discredit anyone else's experience, because I get tired of that. Now, why do you guys think Kate was, like, a light-skinned, like, feminine woman in the movie, and then they often masculinize her as speechless, showed her as overbearing, everything in that manner? But they also showed Kate as, like, light and feminine and soft and pretty and understanding. That was not a mistake. That was not a mistake at all. They knew exactly what they were doing. And what do? Just laugh and watch it. They made millions in the box office. Like, they profit off of throwing this stuff in our faces. And I found an image of Brian Robbins. This is Brian Robbins. Yeah, definitely, like, I'm not a fan of Eddie anymore for that. Like, people can say what they want, drag me or whatever, but, like, why would you do that as a black man? And not only did he dress up as a darker toned black woman, and they constantly made jokes about her size, and then just threw shots about how unattractive she was, how overbearing she was, how monstrous she was. Like, come on. Like, not only did he did that, but he also dressed up as an Asian man. And I feel like if he did that today, his whole career would be over. Because why? I don't feel like that is acceptable at all in any movie. Like, come on now. That's the type of stuff we fuss about today. Like, when applying this caricature and trope to the film industry, I personally feel like black actors should stop taking these roles. Like, yeah, you want the quick money and all of that, blah, blah, blah. But, like, look what you're really, like, doing. Like, come on now. They're using us like puppets. Like, I really wish in the film industry and in the music industry that people would just stop taking those roles. Like, what is it? It's usually like money over morals, and that is not right. Because look, I just think that we really have to ask ourselves, like, when it comes to the film industry, why do we take these roles? Like, I know, like, of course, everyone wants to get to the money. I have nothing against that. But it's like what you do for it. Like, you jeopardize yourself and you jeopardize our community, and then we don't really progress at all. And it's just damaging tropes. Like, I feel like we just really need to sit down and have a serious conversation, or people really need to hold the people that write these movies accountable. You know, like, they have rules for what they can and can't do when it comes to that, because it subsidies all the time and it's so damaging. So I feel like that's a bigger conversation that needs to be had, but this is already like a super duper long video. So if you got to this point, thank you. And thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.